I read somewhere that this came from the Recreation Commission.
That's right.
Okay, so did they have those figures?
Yes.
So when they made the recommendation?
Our president is here, and she does. She's nodding yes, and I believe they did. We had some discussion on it, but they did have those numbers. And like I said, they recommended $200 as a yearly fee based on their day-to-day and their experience, and recommended, and then felt as though that was doubling. It would be too much and came to $150 as their recommendation.
Okay, and then again, it's just my opinion. Since you're pulling it out of the consent agenda and you have so many people here, I just wish you would have heard from them before you made a final decision on what the dollar amount was going to be, that to hear from the people that were actually going to have to pay.
Hasn't been voted on.
Hasn't been voted on, but I appreciate the
No, but you
comment.
decided that you were going to put a $120 figure on it. And I just wish before you made that determination, you would have listened to the public. That's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with it.
Thank you for
No,
your
we don't.
Okay, so I'm just going to take a few minutes because I wrote all this stuff down. Even though now you've discussed all this other information, I'd like to read what I wrote.
Okay.
Okay, Mayor, Commissioner, city officials. Thanks. Oh, Pat Harrigan, Ventnor Heights. Thank you for the opportunity to speak on behalf of the Ventnor pickleball community. As my background is, I brought pickleball, the specialized sport, to Ventnor in 2016. The people on the board did not know what pickleball was. I brought a paddle, I brought a ball, I showed them, I gave them the dimensions of what a court looks like, and we began.
Right.
And we started with 25 members, it was free at that time, and everybody came out to play, and I kept saying to Jerry Thomas, if you put another court in, more people will come. And sure enough, more people came. And then we started our organization, which I'm president of, and I'm also an ambassador for the United States pickleball community. So when we started our Ventnor Pickleball Advisory Committee, we were at that time advising, give and take, back and forth. I would go to meetings, I'd hear what they'd have to say, I'd bring it back to the population, I'd get information, and I'd go back, and we'd land on some solutions to whatever our, challenges were. But this didn't get out there at all. There was no discussion about it. There was no invite to come and discuss it. And I get it. It's a city budget. It's a recreational line. But I felt like we were held out of any of that discussion. As Tim said, we weren't asked for input at all. So one of the things that I wanted to say was that, we have, different than maybe some of the other sports, we have always been partners with the city. We have given back to the city, donated to the city from the pickleball community. We have hundreds of volunteer hours where we put in free instructions to the city employees and the youth summer camps program. We have 6 memorialized benches that we paid for, 6 awnings for shade, the 6-foot fence that goes down the middle of the main court, paddle racks for all the courts, shadow box outside of the office for announcements, a canopy for the Ventnor court staff so they're not in the sun. We've donated to the police and the fire benevolent funds. We've also donated 2 years in a row now, $1,500 a year to the special events program. So I feel like we did our part in doing that, and we want to continue to do that. That's why we want to be partners. The fee going to $150 for an 8-week program does seem unfair. There are weekends with tournaments for Funky Pickle and other things that we may be locked out of that. Yeah, we could pay for it because that's a for-profit organization, but it's not something that we do on a daily basis. And we can only play 5 days a week. That's all we can reserve. Can't play 7 days a week. So it's an 8-week program at $150, which was the proposed rate. A small fee would be understandable, a small increase. Given the recognizing of the hard work and the dedication, the grant monies that put into revitalizing that whole complex, it's beautiful. We've been playing there. It's beautiful and we love it. And it's one of the best. People tell me wherever I go, if I go to Ocean City, if I go to Seattle, they say to me, oh, your courts are beautiful. They're really, yes, they were. Now they're even nicer because they've been redone. So we're asking to reconsider that 150. And I'm proposing that we keep residents at $75, non-residents at $125. I think that's a fair bargain. I get what you're saying, but we're not asking tennis to pay that much more. We're not asking basketball to pay anything. We're not asking volleyball to increase every member that plays volleyball, a higher fee. So it kind of seems unfair given that we are the specialized sport. And it is a hobby and we do love it.
Thank you.
One thing I didn't ask, how long has the fee been $100? When did it start?
75 and then it went to 100
Okay.
and now 150 proposed. So
You are a great community. I see that in, the sport communities that I'm in, that there's much more organized. You're in a lot of other communities, you in a lot of ways, self-govern in a lot of ways, but
Yeah.
so I appreciate your comments and I agree.
yeah, I mean, that's what we try to do. We try to self-govern people, they come and say, hey, Pat, hey, Bill, they ask us questions. And, if I have a question, I take it to the board. I mean, Diane knows I've been there and I've been there. So, I want to be involved and we want to continue to give back. We just want with the taxes that we already pay and the increase that's coming down, just give us a fair shot at a fair price.
Thank you.
Okay.
So I don't know if you could hear us earlier. We did ask our attorney to look at if we can do a property owner versus a non-property owner fee.
Right.
We can't do it this year, but she will take a look at the law and see if it's something that's allowed. We've always been told in the past, legally, you cannot do that.
Why can we not do it this year?
There's not enough time to do it. She has to determine
Can't
whether
just
we're
do it for-
allowed to do it.
It would have to be done across all rec programs. Can't just single out one program. You'd have to do it against all of them.
Okay.
And legally, we don't know if we can do it. So she has to investigate that.
Is that, you have to do that? Are we talking about court reserve or are we talking about
No,
something?
a
Fee.
property tax owner versus a non-property tax owner
Got it.
rate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then maybe we could do seniors. If you can't do that this year, I think court reserve can handle a discount for senior members and non-senior members up to 60. I mean, I know that's what Brigantine is doing.
Mhm.
So something that, is a little bit more palatable in increase.
Did either of you want to change your comments?
Pardon me?
Based on me so far?
Do you want to leave seniors at 100?
Yes.
I'd be fine with that.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Pat.
Hi, Beth Torciello, Ventnor resident. Building on what, Pat said about you can't do it until next year. But take into consideration that the residents here, I'm not going to word this correctly, the residents here you have to get your phone out and you have to push that button at 7:00. We have to compete to get a spot. So you not only are charging or trying to charge $150, you are no guarantee of getting on the court. I think that's really totally unfair. Within 15 seconds, the sessions fill. And so here you paid the $150 and you are not guaranteed a spot. So I think you should take that into consideration. And if you have to wait until next year to do this, then why don't you just leave the fee at $100? And if there's some way to give Ventnor residents access to getting on the courts first, that would be helpful as well. Because, like I said, 7:00, does everybody know this? 7:00, everybody stops what they're doing and has to hit the button. And within 15 seconds, it's filled.
Okay.
And That's, I mean, at $150, that's not fair to not be guaranteed. I pay for my beach badge. I don't go onto the beach and then they say, nope, sorry, you didn't get in on time. And I do pay for school taxes. I pay for, different things that I don't use. And I actually don't go on the beach. I walk the boardwalks, but I don't go on the beach. So, I think it's fair, for us to have some type of, advantage to use our facilities. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. I've seen it, I've heard it, that the court reservation, I've seen people stop eating dinner and get on their reservation. I've seen them get up from a table so they could get in sooner. I don't know if there's I imagine things like Ticketron, when you try to get a concert that's highly popular and those things, I imagine there may be a way to wire it so that there could be maybe a percentage. I would hesitate to say that you could allow residents only a certain period of time, and then it wouldn't be available to all the people that were playing. But I could imagine that there might be a way to wire it so that there be an early reservation period for a percentage for residents at a percentage, a percentage of slots. And after that time is up or that amount is done, and I'm just guessing that it could be an open, open reservation.
So that's something
But
Kat would.
again, that's something that's going to have to be wired, and it's going to have to be vetted. Right. Progress, one step at a time. Yep. Did you have something you want to say, sir?
My name is Lance Cohn. I live at 103 North Wyoming Avenue. I've been playing pickleball in that Ventnor for 8 years now. Since we've had courts, I've been playing there for 8 years. There's been other public courts that opened up in this area. I see us losing some people to some of these other locations. Also, a lot of people, as they were saying, are frustrated at this 7 o'clock thing where you can get locked out in a second. Some of those people have just joined Pickle Juice and Pro Shop and not playing at Ventnor. I look at it this way. I have Margate, it's $100. I have Ocean City, it's $100. So I look at this. When I come to Ventnor, I have to find a parking spot, which takes time. I have now been cut down from 7 days, and I play 7 days to 5 days. I just think the $150, when everybody else is $100, everybody has the same cost that we have. For me personally, Margate's is this close to my house, or closer, and their courts are in great condition. What is my incentive? My only incentive of playing in Ventnor is because we have the best people in the world to play with. That's what we have going for ourselves. And I hate to see us, you're talking about we raised to $150, we're going to raise this much more money. But that being said, how about the people who are frustrated and say, I'm just going to play in Margate? So you will probably lose 50 people. So the money you're making up and overcharging, you're going to lose probably the back end. Thank you very much for the time.
Yeah. Just to be clear, right now, I hear a lot of people saying 150. Right now, the amendment is going to be adjusted to 120, right? So that's an amendment that's on the table right now, and I think there's some
So
discussion about
150 is off the
50 is
table.
off the table, right? So it's 120 at this point to be voted on.
Mhm.
All right, sorry to interrupt you.
Barbara Lombardo, Newark Avenue, Ventnor. You're already giving a discount to the fishing pier, which I don't use, and I don't know how many people in Ventnor actually use that. But why can't you now give a senior discount?
That's the topic that just brought up. So there's
Yeah, but you keep putting everything off to other years. And last year, we even brought up the resident thing to the recreation department and, to give residents a discount, and that didn't go anywhere. But
Okay.
why not now a senior discount? You're already doing it.
We had the legal opinion for years that we cannot do a property owner versus non-property owner, which you're referring to as a resident versus non-resident.
Right.
We are now asked our new attorney to look at that.
But you can do a senior discount now because you're already doing it.
Yes, we do that on the pier.
Yeah.
Do we do that on the pier? We do a veteran too, do we?
We do it, we know we do a senior,
Colleges.
And we have that on the table right now.
seniors
For
150
this year.
for seniors and 200 for adults.
So
So,
I'm sorry, what was that?
well, that's at the pier. We do a discount for seniors, and there's a discussion here now that we would
Right.
do 100 for seniors and 120 for adults,
All right,
So they're
thank
not-
you.
non-seniors.
No, see.
And then just to clarify, there is now a city, Sea Isle, that has done it for a year. So there is going to be some groundwork that we can discuss with their solicitor to find out what if any pushback they had. Diane, would you like to? A round of applause for Diane.
Diane Burkebeck, 3 North Cambridge Avenue, Ventnor. As a member of the Recreation Board, the Recreation Board is made up of residents that have been appointed and volunteer their time to balance between looking at the best interest of the public, looking at the best interest of the city, and looking at the use of the city facilities. With that in mind, our goal is to provide activities for all citizens, youth, middle-aged, teenagers, seniors, adults, but looking at the big picture, not just a tunnel vision on one particular interest. Patty, I hate to tell you, but I taught pickleball at the old high school in 2000.
Told me that night when I,
Yes. So,
when I brought it to bed.
okay. I didn't have Ventnor students, I guess. Anyway, the Recreation Board and I'll speak to a couple other things that you keep coming up and asking the same question over and over again, as far as can we have an earlier time for Ventnor residents. The program that the pickleball group uses, Court Reserve, does not have that capability. We looked into it, and by the way, the Court Reserve costs over $1,000 a year, whereas the city does not have to pay a program, computer program for basketball. They don't have to pay for a program for volleyball. They don't have to provide a computer program for Little League baseball, softball, Pirates football. So we're looking at, when you want to compare apples to apples, this is a specialty that requires more expenditure. The city needs to provide employees on a regular basis because of the conflicts that arise at the pickleball courts. And this year, since there are more courts and more availability, and when you're talking about finances, we're forgetting that it's free play from 12 to 4 o'clock. Granted, every day people don't want to play from 4 to 12, but there's a lot of days that time is not bad, and you can go down and get a group and play for free. So you're 150, 125, whatever, to offset the expenditures that the taxpayers are subsidizing. I'm on the rec board. I like a lot of activity, but I don't play pickleball. But my taxes are still going to the people that do. So the fee that we recommended, and I'm speaking for the entire Recreation Board, we looked at all angles of this. We looked at how much it costs to run baseball, the use of the fields, how much it costs to have the volleyball on the beach and the volleyball in the school, and how much we have to pay. So all of those expenditures for all those activities were taken into consideration. And, again, it costs a lot of money to run the pickleball courts. It's also creates a lot of issues. We ask people not to put their bikes on the fence, that it ruins the fence. But then you have to have somebody to come around and argue with somebody that says, oh, you got all that money, I can just do whatever I want. Tell them to buy a new fence. So that's your clientele. Oh, yes, they do. And they did.
No more.
Okay.
With the bike racks now.
And I was there when they did.
If we get,
Okay.
Since the bike rack.
if we get, excuse me, I'm going to have to call order here. It's not a conversation between between these groups. If you can direct your attention, if you'd like to say something, come up to the mic, state your name and address and speak. Right now, the president of the Recreation Board is speaking, and I understand you have a reaction to that, but if you could just continue, I appreciate your.
So anyway, we do stand by our recommendation with the amount of money that's expended and looking at all the facilities and all the activities that are run through the city, which I think enhances our community. It enhances activities, especially for our youth, and we try to make sure that the youth sports are as I don't want to say cheap, but as less expensive so that our children can be involved in activities. And if they have to be subsidized a little bit by adults, that philosophy is there as well. So thank you for all your consideration and looking at all the angles, and offer you support.
Thanks, Diane.
Thank you.
Luckily, we don't have a ski slope here, right? With those prices?
Right. Thank you, Diane. And I appreciate everything that the rec board does. I know it's a lot of time.
Yeah, Diane, thank you very much for all your work and all the work of the committee. You know, obviously you put a lot of time into this with everything that you looked at. I'm sorry that we're not there, but I'm hoping to find a balance.
Sports camp that goes on for all the kids, the additional marine science camps that go on board. These are all things that are great programs.
Barbara Lombardo again, Ventnor. I just want to say, pickleball doesn't need software, doesn't need court reserve. All the other Egg Harbor, Galloway, Long Beach Island, they don't use software. People just go put paddles up and they play. So Ventnor's making a lot of money by doing court reserve and doing it this way. But you don't have to have software to play pickleball.
How is Ventnor making a lot of money off of?
Well, I mean, they're making money because now you're charging us whatever you're going to charge us, and we're limited, but you're making money. Whereas we could just go there
You
for
heard
free.
Claire talk about what it costs us for those courts, correct?
Yeah, this is
Well,
not
but
yeah.
it costs
So
the
we're
other
not
town.
making money.
well,
making money on pickleball.
But the other towns that don't use the software and people just go and play, they're not getting
I
anything.
understand there's two different devices. I just would characterize making money as actually
Well, you're making more than Galloway.
more than the cost.
Right. But you're making more than the other towns that don't run software
Right.
and don't run a program for 2
Oh.
months. So I just wanted to say that we don't necessarily have to have software to play pickleball.
The reason we have court reserve is for control over it. You can't have 600 people that buy memberships all showing up at the same time.
Correct.
559 people showing up with a paddle.
Well, they do it in other towns.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Anybody else in the commission chambers would like to speak on pickleball?
My name's Barbara Miller-Baum. I live on Ventnor Avenue in Ventnor.
Okay.
I just want to remark that I've been part of many organizations who use Sign Up Genius. Sign Up Genius is free. I've been doing it for Mahjong. I've done it for pickleball with, there's a place in Summers Point. So it's free. If you want to go to Sign Up Genius, it would serve the same purpose.
Thanks. We use it for the rowing club. Anyone else in the community? Yeah.
My name is Chris Brennan. I live in Ventnor. I feel as if the real issue here is the fact that basically a fee was increased with really not much communication. And I think that's probably why you guys got a tremendous amount of pushback. But also what I'm hearing that Pat had shared with us is that maybe some of the original advisory committee is maybe not included on some of this decision making. I don't know if that's accurate or not. Sounds as if it is. And I think a lot of this would have been avoided if you guys had communicated with the advisory committee. And then a lot of people really trust Pat and Bill. And some of this would have been avoided. So I would almost think going forward, that would be a good bridge to cross.
Okay,
And that's all I have to say.
thank you. Anybody else in the commission chambers wish to speak on ordinance
I know there's somebody in this.
167? Not hearing anyone. Is there anyone in the Zoom platform with a hand raised? Looks like a Jack Feinberg.
Yes, Mr. Feinberg first, and then Mr. Rogers would be next after that. So,
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Feinberg, you can unmute.
Speak up if you could. Speak in your mic so everyone can hear you, please.
Can you hear me?
That's better, yes.
At this point, okay. Sorry for the confusion. First off, I am a longtime Ventnor resident. I currently reside at 109 South Swarthmore Avenue.
Please speak a little slower, sir.
Okay, 109 South Swarthmore Avenue, Ventnor, proudly a alumni of the Ventnor Pirate Organization. I'm also a significant person involved with Pickleball. I am currently a member of the governing body of Pickleball. I attempted to be involved in your reconstruction and financing, all of which was just turned away by the city and the various people I spoke to. Right now, there's an income stream that's very possible within your organization that has been rejected. And at the end of last year, I presented to the rec board a plan where the Ventnor Pickleball Advisory Committee could run a tournament over a selected weekend as a grand opening tournament for the courts that would have raised somewhere between $10,000 and $20,000. That tournament could also be run on a yearly basis to provide a revenue stream. The last time we ran it, we were able to donate $10,000 to the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia and reserve $10,000 that was used for various programs along the city. Had there been any cooperation with the Ventnor board with the Ventnor Pickleball Advisory Committee, that revenue source could have been selected, and instead a for-profit organization was given the proposed date, which locked us out of an appropriate date to provide services to provide the tournament. And additionally, the Special Events Committee blocked a summer weekend for, again, a for-profit organization, when again, that particular time frame could have been used for the Ventnor Pickleball organization to run a tournament for the benefit of the city. So there are alternate sources of revenue that the city could use that have been ignored. And I just wanted to bring that to the commission's attention.
Okay, thank you. If you want to bring those to my attention, I can talk to the rec department again about them. If you've already brought them up to the rec, we have a good, we can discuss them later. I appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Feinberg. Anyone else in the Zoom platform that wishes to speak on
Mr. Rogers is next.
167? And I'll recap it at the end here.
Mr. Rogers?
Paul?
Mr. Rogers. Give him a few more minutes. Sometimes.
That should do it. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to
Your
thank
address, please. Mr. Rogers.
111 South Cambridge.
Thank you.
And because I am an apartment lessee, I'd like people to know there's a difference between resident and non-resident. So if we do consider non-residents different than residents, I'd appreciate that. But that's my own issue. But I just want to say, one of the fondest things that Ventnor does is pickleball. And you mentioned a number of 600 people that have come to Ventnor because of it. There's not another sport that rec board or anybody in the United States plays that's so inclusive. I guarantee you, anybody there who hasn't played pickleball at Ventnor tonight in the room, if they went there and played with the people Lance Cohn mentioned, you'd have fun and you'd be welcomed in a community. And it's been growing from how Pat pointed out, 20 people, 5 people to now 600. Now that you have more courts and we have orderly fashion to do things the way they use the rec department functions, you will have more. And people do say fond and great things about Ventnor because of Ventnor Pickleball. So I think it's fair to have a fee. I kind of agree with Commissioner Mento about maybe the sticker shock of 50% increase is just very tough to take. And other local Atlantic County sea communities offer more expensive pickleball expenditures for free. So there is that too. So it's what do you serve? And one more point, I'll make it, that this does really mean most of the players that are being charged are paying for the 8-week for the summer, of which one was given away to Funky Pickle without anybody's. I think that is a good discussion item that Jack brought up, because the fee is not really considered an annual fee in most people's mind. It's the people coming down in the summer to play with their friends on Saturday and Sunday, and now we have an organized fashion. They use this court reserve, which is a challenge to get in and play when you want to play. Yes, you can play in the afternoon. I'm glad you brought that up, but you can't play with the people you want to play with because we don't have enough capacity. That will be relieved a bit by adding the 3 courts. But as the pickleball use grows, many people are moving to Ventnor or coming to Ventnor to enjoy that. So thank you for supporting it. Thank you for making the courts great, because we think they are. And I think that you'll have continued growth in people speaking kindly of Ventnor, how we are doing it. So that's all I had to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Anybody else in the Zoom
wish to comment?
wish to comment?
No.
Just one thing. Just one thing. Real quick.
Bill Sabanjan, Ventnor, Lafayette Avenue. I am on the Ventnor Advisory Committee. Just a quick synopsis. Once this all gets done, when will Court Reserve be open so people can sign up?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Okay, so that we can put that out. That Court Reserve will be open tomorrow. To play on what day? The weekend, you're going to have a ribbon cutting. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So that means Saturday would be out, or?
No, it'll all be, Court Reserve will operate.
It's open now, so we're just going to stand there and cut a ribbon. We're not going to.
I mean, we're
not going to even ask people to stop playing. I want to just cut the
Yeah.
ribbon and let people keep playing.
It opens,
There's
we need.
There's a
3 days.
$150 ticket price for the.
You're right.
Well, that's it. So the thing, hey, I hate to say, it's a great place. We love it there. We want to continue it on. Pat has been absolutely fabulous. Brought this all here and about. If it wasn't for Pat, we wouldn't be having a discussion like this. So that plaque should be made for her at the ribbon cutting. That's for sure. So just like to know when it opens, what would be the first day we can sign up for? That's what people are going to want to know. If you open it on tonight or tomorrow morning, is it 3 days in advance? So that would be Friday. So it would be Saturday. So we wouldn't be able to be on Court Reserve until Monday. So Saturday and Sunday would just be free open play.
We'll pass that on. That's above my pay grade. I'm going to pass that on to Diana.
Don't we? You'll figure it out?
We might have an answer by the end of today, but.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Anybody else have anything to offer for the good of the order regarding ordinance number 167?
Just one quick question. If this is going to Beth Torciello from Ventnor, if this is going to open, what will the price be?
That's what we're going to vote on.
Oh, okay.
Stay tuned. We're going once right now. So anybody else on the Zoom platform before we close this for a recap? So there's a couple things on the table right now. One is to keep the fee for seniors, a new stage for seniors at the original 100, and then a blanket fee. I said adults, that's what we call them, and others for 120.
Right.
And that would be the amendment to the resolution if you choose. I still support.
Any thoughts on the senior? Any thoughts on that, or do we do it for beach badges? We do it for the fishing pier.
Support that.
Okay, I could agree with that as well.
Just thinking about the amount.
Hearing one for seniors.
I'd keep it at 100 and 120. That's where I should speak into the mic. I'm sorry. What we're discussing is the senior fee staying at 100 and the fee increase for anybody else is 120. Correct?
I have an answer to the question.
We have an answer to the question, and we have another comment from the president of the Recreation Department, Diane.
If you're signing up on when you pay your beach fee, you go in and you say how old you are. When you go to the fishing pier, you go in and say, I'm a senior or I'm not a senior. On court reserve, I don't know that you have that capability to differentiate a price if it's a computer.
Right.
Unless you manually walk into rec board.
In the case of the beach badges, they have to come in.
Yeah.
This will be great. We'll spend some time on this too.
Another question for Diana?
Diana, yes.
Yeah, the answer to the question is that we'll open court reserve tomorrow and you'll be able to play Saturday morning. The 3 days is only how early you can reserve, but you can reserve as soon as it opens for active play.
So it'll populate sooner than it'll populate for Saturday. Right?
So to answer your question, it'll open tonight?
No.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, right?
Meeting's over. I'll let Diana know to get her and Sarah.
And Saturday, you'd be able to play.
So the weather is good
Court
today. The
reserve.
courts are probably dry today. Tomorrow will probably be a good free day play. So, tomorrow will be likely all free. And then by the end of the day or while you're on the courts, the court reserve may become live for reservation.
Well, I'm going to ask for some patience on the issue about seniors as to,
Right.
hey, what's the cutoff? Is it 62? Is it 65? What's
Right.
going to be? And secondly, I don't know off the top of my head whether court reserve has the ability of differentiating. So we will need to know that. So if you do the resolution, I'm going to ask that you do it, approve it contingent on court reserve being able to do it.
Okay. I'm good with
And
that.
I think we should leave it, make it the same as beach badges, which is 65, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Beach badges are 65 for seniors, so I think we should do the same
Well,
thing.
fishing pier 62. That's why I
Oh,
asked.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Why are they 62?
I don't know.
I guess there was some very
Mysteries
influential
again.
62-year-old
Don't-
fisherman at one time.
Can we do, so what do we call the others? Adult or versus child or just
Players.
players? We call them masters at rowing. Should we say bigger masters? Because
I'm not sure who's in charge of court reserve, but Brigantine absolutely has from up to age 60, you pay one fee. Over 60, you pay your senior rate. So court reserve can do it. I
Okay.
guess we'd have to coordinate with
Okay.
the representative.
Take your-
ask for everybody's patience as we work through that.
Well, the person who is taking care of it is watching the meeting, so she heard your comments.
Okay.